Hey, so what is on your bucket list of being a Disney fan?
Being in Marceline, Missouri.
Ha! That's where we're at!
Welcome to Marceline, Missouri.
Yes, oh my god. We are actually in, not the birthplace, but we are in what really started it all for Disney. This is like hard to believe that we're actually here.
I know, it's crazy. Long drive
It is.
for certain circumstances, but we're trying to make the best of things.
Yes.
And we're excited. My little Mickey's with me.
Oh my god, we're super excited. We are going to go in here. I did look online. The prices are $10 a person for adults.
It's two floors.
Yep.
I saw in the pictures.
Yep, and there's all different prices. You'll see what the prices are. But guys, if you are new here, hello, hi, and
Welcome.
so we are Echo Child Adventures. We are a travel channel, but we do a lot of theme park stuff in Orlando. But we are trying to venture out, hence being here from Missouri.
Yeah, like it's so cool. And like we're literally, the train's right here.
I know.
Like, what?
I know. And this is supposedly the same depot.
From 1913, I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know yet. We'll probably put correct it down here below.
But this is the same depot or area that Disney family came on. That actually stepped foot when they came.
The Santa Fe Trail, yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you are new here, hello, hi, and welcome. Like we just said, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and only you can help us out.
Please help us out with that word because we want to go live with you guys, get to know you guys. We want you to get to know us, ask questions. We love seeing those likes and comments. We try to answer them as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we're doing a good job with that. We're mostly active on Instagram and TikTok.
And here comes a train.
This
How
is
fitting.
just so cool though.
All right. But guys, thank you, and we really do hope you enjoy this video. Well, welcome to Marceline, Walt Disney Hometown Museum.
In Missouri.
In Missouri, yeah. Just a reminder, he was born not in Missouri, but I believe it was in Chicago.
He grew up.
Yeah, then he moved to Marceline, and that's where all his childhood is. So we stopped by here on our way up to Omaha, and I tell you what, it was pretty amazing. Wait till you start seeing the pictures, and this is what you walk into when you get into the museum. Everything is just pristine.
It's incredible with everything that they have and all the information. There's a little bit of reading to do, but it's definitely worth it, I think.
Yeah. Some of the museums that we've gone to in the past, we didn't really care for because we had to do a lot of reading. But this is actually worth it because it kind of gives you a snapshot of how they came. I mean, look at that. That's a phone registry with their information. I mean, just cool.
Little things like that is pretty cool. Like seeing family photos like this one with all the information. It's really cool.
It is. Before we get too far into this, Ruth Disney, Walt's sister, younger sister, she actually donated all this to the museum. So everything you see right now was donated by Ruth Disney. That's crazy.
And the fact that she kept all of this stuff, which is great for us.
I know.
And then with Disneyland, like, it's just so cool seeing everything from there. Like, where it all started. It all started with a mouse.
I know.
And this is his school desk.
Yeah.
It has his initials on it that he carved.
I think there's a placard in a couple of seconds. There it is. Used by Walt Disney in 1908. I believe that's what it says. That just makes you kind of feel a little old, right? So on the right it has this information about the train depot's history and all that kind of stuff. We didn't take a lot of pictures in there because we wanted to focus on Disney. These are some of his shorts, the Owl shorts that we know so well, at least if you follow Disney. And I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it? It said Oswald.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then the
I
little banner.
love this one so much.
Yeah. So they donated a lot of stuff to the park, or to Marceline, the city. So excuse the political incorrectness here. This is called the Midget Ride. I believe there's a name of it called. here pretty soon.
In Autotopia.
Yeah, Midget Autotopia, right? Yeah, there it is. So that was kind of neat that they actually donated this. I mean, obviously, back then that was appropriate, though obviously now we don't use those terms. But I think this was similar to the Autotopia that we have at Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Tomorrowland Race? What? I don't know. I don't know the rides. I just go on it.
You're just an annual pass holder.
Yeah. But it's so cool. I mean, that's one of the original cars. It's neat.
I would drive that around.
Yeah. Like, the city really embraced the Disneys. I mean, that's a back shot looking back at the main area. But, oh, you see Ruth on the backside. You see her?
Yeah, she's on the screen now.
But, yeah, I mean, that Marceline itself had really embraced Walt and Roy and Ruth. I mean, even some of the stuff that we bought, it was awesome. So, all this memorabilia came from Ruth, like we said before.
Wasn't it like 3,000 pieces, I believe?
Yeah. 3,000 pieces. Look at all those books.
The comic books.
And
they're in pristine condition. That's the thing. Like,
I know.
You're like, I just want one of these.
I mean, even some of the stuff, like the Main Street bandstand hat. I don't know what they call them because I wasn't in band. But, I mean, all this stuff, like...
Look at all those original books, like Cinderella, Snow White.
You see the book, So Dear to My Heart? That was actually about Walt and Marceline. Remember? We read that thing?
Oh, yeah. It's just cool seeing. I know some of the pictures may be a little bit blurry. The lighting was not that great, but we tried our best, and being short does not help.
No. I mean, you gotta think, like, where does she keep all of this stuff?
She probably had storage units, I would assume.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably displayed a lot of it, too.
I mean, like, you kind of get a little jealous. I mean, we collect some stuff, but nothing like this.
And I love Tinkerbell, so I had to take a picture of Tinkerbell with his signature on there. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, you see that little sword on the right? That was the 50th anniversary of Disneyland.
Wow. Just, like, everything was just put together, and then you just look at different things, and you don't realize what it is until you can see them up close.
Yeah.
This was from Toontown?
Toontown, Disneyland.
Oh, wow, that's right.
Yeah.
It's fun going back to these pictures after you record it, because then you just get even more excited about re-seeing the things that you saw in real life.
I know, and you said it in last week's video when you're looking down Main Street USA and how you saw Marceline.
It makes you look at Main Street totally different once you've been to Marceline. That's the key.
To a Grand Floridian Resort.
Wow. Yeah. Those little things, if you don't look closely, you'll miss them.
I mean, you see the 50th anniversary sword and shield.
And now it's for DisneyWorld as the 50th anniversary.
I mean, they had just started that when we had been here.
That's true.
You know, I mean, it's cool. I mean, circa 2005. Wow, 2005? That's when we got married. Oh, yeah.
This is a cool sign, too.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, like Walt really embraced Marceline, and Marceline really embraced Walt.
Oh, yeah. We didn't get to see some things that we were told about. I think we tell it later on in the video. Mm-hmm. But I wish we had time. But guess what? We can go again.
I know. A phonograph? What?
A what? A phonograph?
So the swimming pool, now that's kind of a cool story. We actually go to that later on in the video. But the swimming pool was actually donated in 1956. It was actually named after Walt. And they actually had stamps, and we actually bought a stamp from that time, encased in glass. Oh, partner statue.
I know, that's one of my favorites.
Speaking of partner statue, they have the 50th anniversary merch with the partner statue on her.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
Almost bought it.
I know.
We should just start collecting everything now.
I know. Look at the Pez dispensers of 80 years. I didn't see those. I
Jeez.
never saw those when they were out.
I think we might have, but we were too late on buying them. Like, a lot of this merch is a little bit older, but I think if we were met each other sooner, we both would have been Disney freaks already to begin with.
And Loving Legacy.
The master storyteller of the world. That's so cool. Oh, and these are fun.
Oh, so those train tracks, I remember reading that.
Yeah.
That actually came from his house in
His
California.
backyard.
Yeah.
Remember he had the train set where he would ride
Oh,
on?
there it is. Yeah.
That's so cool. Imagine going to Walt's house and saying you rode the train in his backyard.
And there he is.
Do you think people would believe you?
No.
Those pictures are just incredible. And then that's Roy.
I'll tell you what, they really lift Ruth up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she wasn't really like that big of a figurehead in the Disney family, but this museum wouldn't be able to exist without her. You know, and they just really lift her up. I really like that.
Like we said, there's a lot of reading, but it's cool to read that stuff because you actually get information about it. There are other museums as well that have a lot of information, but I think we retain it very well because we love Disney.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing was when we drove to his farm.
Later, that's also
I know.
later
That
on.
was just like, wow. You know, I mean,
To walk in his steps.
you know, it's funny because we went to the King's Rock and Roll's house, right? It was a shotgun house. And then we go to Walt's not birthplace, but his childhood home, and it's almost identical. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
these guys.
If this goes too fast for you guys, you can always pause it and read it. I think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. I love that picture above. So that's Roy and Walt and Ruth. And then this is my favorite quote. More things of importance happened to me and Marceline than have happened since or likely to in the future. And it kind of goes into depth. But I think that was like the best quote.
And I don't think being at Disneyland or Disney World, you hear that quote often.
Mm-mm.
You mostly hear it all started with a mouse.
Right. It's kind of chilling because like Marceline is a very small town. It's very country-esque, and like I loved it. I would actually move there just because it's
like country farm life.
yeah.
But when you're there, you feel like you're at home,
All right.
which is weird, but also hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you go visit, you're like, wow. Like you can just take a breath and relax.
I agree. It's just, you know, you kind of think about everything because, you know, with us, you know, planning on moving, it's kind of bittersweet seeing all this stuff because it kind of makes you fall back in love with Disney a little bit.
And not want to leave.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. It truly does. Cause,
Well, that means we just have to stay annual pass holders.
yeah. I mean, in the, not to say that we don't love Disney now. I mean,
It makes you appreciate it more.
yeah. I mean, I've always said it before in other videos, I'm nostalgic Disney. I am old-fashioned Disney. And so some of the ways that we're moving towards as far as Disney, I don't like. But that's me. That's my burden that I have to carry. But this is just stuff that you just, you know, you can't.
But you can go back on this.
Yeah.
You can't go back on some of the decisions that have been made
Right.
by Disney.
Yeah.
Well, not
Well, Disney Corporation.
right, like Disney parks and stuff.
You know, I mean, you know, it's just the stuff that you see here is just like it kind of just like, man, this guy was a small town boy. You know, I mean, and he turned this company into something that we all have kind of grown up with.
Idea.
Yeah.
Like sitting on a park bench.
Yeah.
Like where you come up with all these ideas on a park bench.
You know, all these kids were like, "What are we doing here?"
They had no idea. These are really cool. I loved seeing these models. Weren't they the original?
Mm-hmm. One of the originals, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
and they're just so detailed.
They are, and it's so hard to take a picture because when you do it through the acrylic, you get the glare, so you have to kind of go above, but you miss the detail down below.
Because we're short.
I know. Well, so going back to one of the things about Disney, so I don't know if you remember hearing the story. It was at Sagebrush Church in Albuquerque, and there was a story about how Disney's daughter, Walt's daughter, got in his lap. And she had just learned, I think she was like 7 or 8, she had just learned that Walt Disney was Walt Disney of Disneyland. And she actually asked for her dad's autograph. I mean, that's...
Ooh, Haunted Mansion.
To me, that's just... I love that story. I know. Who doesn't love Haunted Mansion?
There might be a few people who disagree.
I mean...
It's a good ride. I'm glad they took their time on it.
And these are some of the facades of Main Street USA. And I tell you what, the building, the architecture, you see it. You honestly do.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then those are the things that you can kind of go around looking at. We didn't really do a lot of that because we were kind of short on time. But you really do see it. And then the depot that we're in is actually the same flooring outside by the tracks that Walt would have walked on.
Look at the castle. Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland.
It's crazy.
Ah, how cute.
Walt and Pooh. That's
Mickey
so cool.
and Pooh.
That's right. Oh yeah,
You
Mickey
said
and
Walt.
I know.
Long day.
It's been a long day, but it's just you guys have to. If you won't have a chance to get out there, you got to do it because this is just like you can't put words to the feeling you get when you look at this stuff and actually be there. Oh, there's you.
There's my ride. Well, that's Disneyland's ride, but still, one and the same in a way.
I don't know. It's more colorful now inside.
At Disney World, it is for the 50th.
Not as colorful as that, but it's colorful.
Yeah, that's true. It's just cool seeing that. Like, yes, at Disney World, at Hollywood Studios, you're able to see some of the models, but I think here at this museum, you're able to get a little bit up close and personal. This
is my favorite desk. I agree with what you said, but I don't want to miss this. So you guys got to watch Walt Before There Was Mickey. It's an awesome movie, and they actually talk about who this guy was, and he was actually there to undermine the Walt Corporation at the time. And so, like, this is really cool that he actually knew that Walt was going to make it, and they kept that desk. That was really cool. And that was like one of the horses that he drew. It's just cool. I know we use cool a lot, but there's no other way to say it because like this stuff really is speechless. We actually were there, Amber.
We probably need to come up with different words.
I know. But guys, that was the last photo, so we really do appreciate you taking the time to listen to us talk about our experience, but please continue on with the video, and thank you so much. Well, now we can actually film because we couldn't film inside. But look at this place. These are the bricks. And this is where Walt, Roy, Elias, and everybody else would have gotten off and stepped into this old wooden building that is now brick. And that's where they would start their journey here in Marceline. It's pretty impressive, actually, that they kept this. Now, the original building is actually torn down because it, obviously, time. It had already been 30 years, and they built this new building on the same foundation. It's pretty cool. We're actually stepping on the same grounds that Walt would have stepped on.
And maybe a lot of other people down
Yeah.
back in early 1900. What was it, 1913?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're going on the street of what inspired Main Street USA for Disneyland and for Disney World. Alright guys, here's the famous Coke wall that is inspired and is at Disneyland. This is where the pool used to be, I believe in.
It's right over here.
And so apparently Walt Disney came over here for the dedication of it. If
1956.
it was in 1956 is when this happened.
This is really cool.
So it's right here.
Yeah. They had to move it because of chlorine and
Yeah, the chlorine and metal and all that. So this is where it would have been. Of course, it does not look the same.
Yeah. So this is Santa Fe we just passed. The museum is over here.
Santa Fe Street?
Yeah, Santa Fe Street. So if you continue on going this way, right behind you where the camera's facing, you will come up to the Walt Disney Elementary School. We're running kind of out of time because we have to be somewhere else. But you can go there, and they have murals that Disney actually had commissioned. And there's a couple other places. Now, he gave us a little trick. If you are a true Disney fan, which most of us
Well,
are.
if you're watching, you are.
More likely. If you go towards the gymnasium on the backside, there's more paintings and stuff like that
Well, you
he
can
had
see them
commissioned.
clear. You have to look through the window.
So, but like I said, we're not going to have time to do that today. We are actually on the way to the home that is now owned by somebody else. You cannot go into the house. You can't. They don't do anything. Which, if I owned that house, I'd probably do tours, make some.
But you can take pictures and possibly video.
Yeah.
And she said like you can. There's like a way. David said that you can go around like a little area, and there's like not a statue, but a plaque probably.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I remember him saying. If it's not right, we'll take it out.
So we're from the truck. You can actually pull up a little bit closer and get it. But this is the original house. They've added on to it, but everything on one of the sides, I think the left side is the original. She does not allow anyone to actually come see it or anything. But this is pretty cool that we actually get to see this. We're on our way. So now we got to figure out a way to turn around and then head to the Dream Tree and the original barn. So anyway. This has been pretty cool. Just walking in Walt's footprints, kind of like when we did it with Elvis.
Yeah.
We are on our way over to the Dreaming Tree and the Disney's original barn. So, as Amber just informed me, the Dreaming Tree is where Walt got a lot of his ideas and dreamed of what life could be for him and different ideas for other things. And this is really cool. I like it. There's a storm coming in. The tree is no longer here.
But you did get pictures of it
Mm-hmm.
from the museum.
They do have some of the bark, I believe, or some of the wood that you can buy.
Not buy. This is the tree?
This is a sapling that was planted by Walt's grandson, Bradford Disneyland, with the assistance of Walt Disney World ambassadors Sarah Spike. The soil from Magic Kingdom and water from Rivers of America are lovingly mixed with the soil from the iconic.
There's the original.
Barn. Wow.
That's so cool. So part of.
Magic Kingdom's here, Amber. Wow. It's a long thing, but basically just tells a small history of how the Disney bought the property and the tree and everything else.
Me too. Look, you could sit here and do.
And if you want, as Amber just said, I don't know if you heard her, you can pop up right here on this bench, sit and think about things that you want to accomplish in your life, dreams and ambitions and everything else. So you come over here to the barn, and then come over here where the tree was, and just dream. Do you think he dreamed of Mickey? No.
At that time, who knows?
When a young Walt decided to hold a circus in the barn, his friends paid 10 cents for a show comprised of a lethargic goat, a pig, and a family dog and cat dressed in Sister Ruth's doll clothing. Nobody was impressed. That's what it just said too. Wow. This barn, in particular, was built in the volunteers in the summer of 2001 to create Walt Disney's 100th birthday, celebrate his birthday. It was constructed using the blueprints Walt had commissioned for his own Holmby Hills workshop. Autographs and messages to Walt and Roy are welcome in the interior of the barn only. Just think, all this land was Disney's. Was a Disney family. And just think, like right here, right at this spot, Walt would have stand. Wow. So we added Echo Travel Adventures.
To 2 spots in here.
Oh, there's 2 spots?
Yep, I added one.
Oh no. Where'd you put?
Right here.
Oh.
I told you I was going to.
Oh, oops. Well.
Where did you put yours?
Over here.
Where?
Are we gonna walk in? Well, sadly, this is the end of our video. Yeah, we're standing on the farm.
Mm-hmm. It was all started by a mouse.
Yes.
And a dream and imagination of Walt Disney.
Yeah. So when you think about love or hate,
Don't look at my shirt. It's not Disney.
love or hate what Disney has become.
What it all started with was.
Yeah, and it started with the dream and making dreams possible, and being here kind of makes you more nostalgic and kind of like appreciative.
It brings back the first memories and like awness of going into Disneyland or Disney World and just infatuated with the magic of what it is.
Yeah, it does, honestly. I mean, like you hit the nail on the head. This kind of revamps the magic that you once remembered Disney having. Not to say that the magic's completely gone when you go to Disney parks today.
Right.
It's just with COVID and everything else, some things kind of just get forgotten. You know, so
and also happy 50 years Disney World.
yeah, man. Oh, speaking of which, there's a picture that we just saw from the 50th anniversary from Disneyland. So it's fitting that we.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It all comes together.
it does. And then 20 years ago was Disney's 100th birthday, and this one with this was built. So it's just full circle. I mean, 20 years later, 120 years since he was born.
Also, when you come here, the parking lot is maybe like 10 spots, and you could easily pass it and miss it. So if you're coming down the road, it's gonna be on the right-hand side, more than likely.
It is. When you're coming from the museum.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you. If you made it this far, thank you so much for coming. We really do appreciate your support and love. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. We are trying to get to 1,000, right?
Yes.
More than that, obviously,
Well,
but
hopefully.
1,000 will open the door where we can go live, where you can experience things like this with us, and we want you to experience those things with us.
If we go live, like either on Instagram or on YouTube, we would love to go live on there, and show you guys a little bit more than what we show in the videos, and get more intimate with you guys, and get to know you better, just like you can get to know us.
Right. But guys, thank you so much, and we'll definitely see you guys next time.